Hello, guys. Rosenberg here again with one problem that seems to be very common on Yamaha's R6. On the year, I'm not sure, but I search a lot in the internet for this problem, and it seems to be very common. And I know when I watch videos, I like to for whoever it's making the video. I like them to go straight to the point. But here, I want to explain some things, and the problem that I have was I wasn't able to switch into third gear, and it felt almost like when you're bottom out on first gear, and you're gearing down into first, and then you get to first, and then there's nothing else right there, right? That's how it felt when I was trying to get into third gear after second gear. It wouldn't go nowhere, and this really freaked me out because it was right after I changed the oil on my bike. Did it myself. I had this bike for about a year. I never had a bike. It's a 2011 R6 with just 7,000 kilometers on it, and she's in pretty good condition since I bought it. Um, I think it was dropped one time by the previous owner, but there was no major damage, just a couple scratches. Um, but my problem was, yeah, it's right after I changed the oil, I went out riding, and sometimes it would go in third gear, sometimes it wouldn't. And that's really freaked me out because I was thinking maybe it's something serious with the gearbox or something pretty bad, and it really got me scared, and I was freaking out because I don't know a whole lot of bike mechanics, or the how they work. But I'm learning. But I hope this helps you guys. This was one thing after searching a lot in the internet. This did help me a lot. And I have a couple solutions for you guys if you're having this problem where your bike will not go into third gear um, after you do any work to it, or you change your oil, or you lengthen the rod, the shifting rod here. For some reason you wanna make this higher or lower. I guess it's depending on taller or shorter people. When I got my bike, mine was way too low, and I had to bring it up a little bit. Um, so then I play with it. I play with the rod. You can loosen this nut here, make it longer, shorter. But anyways, that's not why you're here. Same with this one here. Um, I did see in a lot of videos and a lot of trends out there on the internet where there's people asking about this problem where your bike would not go into third gear, and then a lot of people suggest that you have this rod into the right length and the aspects of the bike of how. But when you look at it, it doesn't matter if this thing it's all the way out here, or this is all the way out here, or it's shortened all the way. It doesn't matter at all. I don't know where they get that idea from, because all that lengthening this or getting it shorter, all it's going to do is just make this go higher, or sorry, higher or lower. It's going to affect nothing on the on the bike, because if you make it longer, this is not going to move. You're not going to be moving this. You're going to be making this longer, and this is not going to move. So all it's going to do is just going to go longer this way, and there's nothing here on the bottom that's going to hit. If you make this, I don't know, 4 inches long, to be exaggerated, right? It's not going to hit nothing. It's not going to obstruct anything when you gear up or down. The only thing that it's going to affect, and that might be one of your problems, this I'm going through some of the steps that might be your problem, and one of them that might be is if you change your oil, and for some reason you did not align this teeth here. When you take this, a lot of people, when they change their oil, they take this out. I don't like taking this out. I like taking this right here. You remove this little boot here, and then I like just removing that screw, and then I take it right from there. I don't like screwing around with this for the reason that from taking it in and out, you start damaging the teeth for some reason, and then you gotta push it in, and you almost sometimes you gotta hammer that a little bit. And I don't know, I don't like hitting any of the components in there, but somebody that might have a problem is you might see this little tiny dot in here. You have to align that with that line that's right there. I don't know who made those marks there before, but I hope you see that little line there that goes just like that. So that should align with that line all the time. If that thing is up or down too much, so if you have this up too much, your problem might be that when you're gearing up, your 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 rod is gonna hit right in here. If you guys see, I have just enough clearance, but if for some reason you change your oil and then you didn't put this back to where it's supposed to be, then this is not gonna let you shift or go anywhere, right? For some people that say that they can, can't even go into first or whatever after they do their oil change, but this might be your problem. You didn't put it back exactly where it was, and then I don't know. Maybe if you don't have this mark before you take it off, maybe do some. Maybe this is what somebody did before. Do your, get a Sharpie, do some marks on it, make sure you put it back into the same place. So that's one of the problems. The other problem that you might have is your returning spring or return spring, um, restoring spring. Sorry, they call it different names, and it's a spring. It's right inside here, all the system. I'm not 100% how to change it, but that might be one of your problems. I watched some videos of people changing them. It seems to be a very cheap fix, and yeah, I think it's only like $4 or $5 to buy the spring on Yamaha or online, or you probably can. I think you can buy an upgraded version of it, which I think it's stronger or it lasts longer. I'm not 100% sure, but that might be another problem where once you shift down to, I don't know, one or second or whatever, your shifter is not going back to its original place, right? It's not resetting. So maybe when you're going into first, right, it's not going back. Like, see how I'm pressing it here and it's going back by itself. Some of you, if that spring is broken, it's not going to bring back, it's not going to reset the gear for you to go into the next gear. So if it goes up and you put your gear on and then it returns and it doesn't return all the way, like, it might go halfway for some reason, that's the spring that's making you turn that back. So to know if your spring is broken before you go anywhere else, or you think you're raw or something, is I recommend that you go to your bike, you take this bolt right out, okay, take it right out, and then grab this little arm here and then move it up and down to see if it returns to the original place. It should have no play at all. Like, it should, once you take this rod off right out of here, if you take this hex with a hex screw, take that right out and then play with this up and down like this, and there should be no play. Like right now, there's there's no play on it. It should go back. If it doesn't go back when you take this right out, then it's your spring. If it does go back, like if you go back and there's no play or nothing, this was my problem. That it was very easy to fix. I had to spend no money, and I almost guarantee that 80% or 90% of the people that are having this problem, this is what happened. Okay, so this is what happened to me when I bought the bike. Um, the guy that was doing the the greasing on the chain of the bike, he was way overdoing it, and there was grease all over down here everywhere. And then this cover, I took it off and it was just pumped with grease everywhere around in here. So when I did my oil change, what I did is I took all this, I took this cover off, cleaned the chain real good, and then I cleaned this, and then I was using brake clean to clean all that grease and all that stuff. So what I think happened is when I was cleaning all of this, I had this little boot off because I took this off, and then maybe I sprayed some brake clean into here, and into the bottom one. And if you see, there's almost like a little ball joint here that has some play, right? Like you see. I hope you see that, right? Let me just grab a wrench here, and then I'll show you that it has some play. And if it doesn't have some play, that means that it's dry right out and that's not letting you do your return play. So if you do that, see, that should be loose. Mine, what my problem was is it wasn't loose. It was seized right up, maybe because I put some brake clean, and I took out the grease that was there, and then the grease that was on the bottom one, because the bottom one's exactly the same. It should have some play, right? If you see that. So that was what my problem was. Once I went up, this was so seized that it wasn't letting my gear reset, go back to itself. So if, like I said, if you take this right out and then you move this, just this little arm, nothing attached to it, move it. If it goes back to place, if it's tight, if there's no looseness or nothing when you try to move it, right? Because you can move it. If it's tight, then your problem is this here. This might be dry right out. I put some lube in it, some lubricant in there on the top one and the bottom one. And then another thing that I also did that I noticed it was very dry is this screw here that attaches your whole shifter lever, or yeah, your shifter lever. It was very dry inside, so I took this out too. I cleaned it, and then I lubed it up too, put it back on, lubed this up real good, put everything back on, and then I went out yesterday, shifted all, no problem. Like I said, guys, it did freak me out because I thought it was something major. Because I was driving in the highway and it would not let me go into third gear. And then when I parked it in my garage, I was playing with the gears, with the bike on my stance. Like, put it on your stance too, and I play around with it. Put it on first, put it on stuff. And then another thing that you should try to is if it's not going into third, you go. How is it? It's kind of hard to think of it when you're not on the bike. So you go down to your first gear, right? And then you go up to your second gear. And then if you want to doesn't go to third, right? When you try to go to third and it doesn't set back, then push the thing down a little bit so that it sets back, and then try again to go into third. If it does, then, like I said, is this guy right here, or this guy right here is seized up, is right out, or this guy here, and is just not letting this run free. And yeah, that's your solution. You should just grease this up real good, keep it nice and lubed, and then put that little boot up. Maybe your boot is broken too, or it ripped, and then dust is getting into there, and it's seizing that out. And then like I said before, if for some reason this is loose, or there's movement, or there's play, it's not going back to where it's supposed to, then it's your spring. I'm gonna upload some pictures at the end of the video, or at the beginning, probably at the end, of the restoring spring or return spring, to show you kind of how it looks, or where it is, or I did some research to change it, thinking maybe that was the problem, but thank God it wasn't the problem. It was just this here. It was very easy fix, and like I said, I see a lot of you are looking for this problem on the internet, and there's not a whole lot of solutions. There's a lot of theory, and maybe this, maybe that, but yeah, I hope this helps you guys. I hope this fixes your problem. If you have any questions, please comment. Make sure you share the video, you subscribe, and yeah, like I said, hope it helps you. It did help me. I almost couldn't sleep at night trying to think what the problem was. The town that I live in, it's kind of small, and there's not a whole lot of motorcycle mechanics, unless you go to the dealer, and the dealer charges you an arm and a leg just to look at the bike. So yeah, hopefully this helps you, and again, lube this real good. Even if you're not, even if you don't have this problem, if you're watching this video, I recommend you take this little boot off, and that little boot off and you lube that real good, because it helps. I even feel the bike shifting better after I did that. And then yeah, I lube this, take this screw right out, and then lube, clean that, because it was some dried up grease in there. Lube it up, put it back on, and yeah, go out, try it out, and then let me know if it worked for you. If it worked for you, great. I'm happy that I was able to help. And yeah, thank you guys, and have a good rest of the day. Guys, another thing I did forgot to mention is also, if you're having problems going from either first to neutral or second to neutral, and it goes right through, either if you have it in first and you're trying to go to neutral and it goes to second, or if you have it on second and you want to try to go to neutral and it goes right through first, or trying to find neutral, it's a little hard for you guys. This is a problem as well for this seasoning up. Been a little too hard, not being greased up. That's what happens if you don't have it lubed up. If it's seasoning up a little bit, it'll be a little harder to find either neutral or first or second, or not, sorry, from going from first to neutral, or second to neutral. That's another problem also for having for this not being lubed up, because you're trying to push up and it'll go just right through because you put too much force on it. So guys, I hope this video does help you somehow with what's the issue I had. Um, like I said before, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to help you. I don't have a whole lot of experience, but from what I figured on the bike, um, it's a very easy fix, and I read many trends in the internet, and they don't give a straight up solution. And yeah, hope I try to put as much as I could in the video to help you out. I'm gonna see if I can make a video of changing that spring. I have a friend that I think he has to change the spring. I'll make a video and I'll upload it. Yeah, so another thing that I wanted to add is, after I looped up all those bolt joints and that lever on that, or the bolt where the lever sits, uh, I shift way better. Shifting is way better, way softer, way smoother. Um, Before, like I said before, I couldn't, or it was hard to put it into neutral if I stopped or anything. It was a little harder to get into neutral, because I would try to go as soft as I can with my foot, and it would just go right through, because it was a little, it wasn't loose enough. So now it's very nice. After I lubed it up, it feels very good. So yeah, guys, hopefully, again, I said, hopefully the video helps you, and subscribe, share, and I'm here to help you.